Hello, my name is Tony Chinqui.
Frances Mei Harden.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And welcome to Social Rounds, the podcast in which two of the happiest surgeon dropouts you'll ever meet give our unsolicited opinions on the states of medicine, the world at large, pop culture, and whatever else we happen to find interesting. And this week, we have a very special guest, you guys. She's a dynamic personality who was recently hired at the Hippocratic Collective, the HC. She's an avid outdoors woman, and she doesn't know this yet, but she's a person who's already on my shit list because she's from Illinois and is one of those people who says, I grew up outside Chicago, even instead of just telling us where the fuck she's from, which everybody I've ever met from Illinois, that's how you guys introduce yourselves. And I've had it. I'm so annoyed. But anyway, you already have a mountain to climb. Please welcome Dr. Kate Burke.
Hi, guys. I'm so happy to be here. Honestly, I was thinking about this last night because I thought I would be called out for saying I'm from outside Chicago. So I was going to say I'm from a suburb outside of Chicago. Does that work better?
Just
Is that
where
more
you
pleasing?
from? What's the name of the city?
Do you know where
Where you
Tony
from?
doesn't want to be infantilized. He doesn't want to be
I don't
infantilized.
want,
Talk
yeah,
to
you
him
don't
like
have
a
to
grown
ease
man.
me in with like, oh, I know you're in Illinois. I know where Illinois
Okay.
is. So tell me, rep your city.
Do you know where Bloomingdale, Illinois is? Population
I don't.
probably 75,000.
I do not, but tell me about it. It sounds
Uh,
cozy.
It's just a suburb, you know. It's just a little white picket fence, green lawns, little suburb outside of Chicago.
I mean, Frances Mei, you've done this to me before, right? Aren't you like from outside Chicago or some bullshit?
I'm just from Chicago, and I say I'm from Chicago. I say I'm from
You're
Chicago.
from Chicago?
I grew up off of a Green Line L stop. And most people
Okay.
will give you,
Yes.
Okay.
if you live on an L stop, even if it's a more distal one,
You're in the city.
like,
You're in the
that
limits.
it's like fair to say, yeah.
Okay.
And I
No.
grew up 1.5 blocks from getting on the L.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would
So
say
that's
as a
Chicago.
fellow Chicagoan, I would say Frances Mei is from Chicago.
She's from Chicago. Okay. All right. Because listen, I've never heard of any other place in America that like has to, like, wherever you're from in Illinois, it's called outside Chicago. Like, no one in New York says I'm from outside New York City. Like, they're from, like, I'm from Westchester. Fucking,
That's
that's
a
where I
good point.
live. You know, that's where I stay. So, like,
That's a good
even
point.
if I don't know where it is, like, stay where the fuck you're from. I had enough. This is a new era of respect for the suburbs of Chicago, and it's starting here. It's starting
I
here
feel
with
like
you, Kate.
we need a ribbon or some sort of awareness day for this
Yeah.
cause.
Yes. Outside Chicago.
Tony,
Shut it
Outside
down.
Chicago.
he is from New York City. You gotta just let him cook sometimes because he does not know of like Midwestern sensibilities
Yes.
and just like
I
really not
understand.
wanting to be an imposition, I feel like.
Yes.
Like, oh, I don't want to impose upon
oh
you.
my God. You don't want to impose upon me. You just want me to know the general proximity to the largest city, you know. And
Because
and within a 4-hour radius, pretty much, because that's what everybody does.
no, that's what it is. Midwesterners, we don't see things, we don't see time and geography in the same way. It's like if it's within a 6 or 8 hour drive, you do not take a flight, you drive. So you really do. That
True.
is
True.
like, you know, oh, Milwaukee, that's around the corner. That's what, 2 hours, 90 minutes away.
Several
That's
hours.
fine.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a day trip.
Indiana, it's a
That's a
day
day trip.
trip.
Yep. Mhm.
Even like Columbus, that's 5 hours away. That's a day trip, man.
I respect that. I respect the getting in the minifan and just doing what you got to do. But what I will not respect is people like from Ohio saying I live outside Chicago
No.
or Indiana. And I know some people in Indiana do that shit because Indiana's right there.
Well, I mean, they're trying to get, they're trying to take away their association with Indiana, which I understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. Get us the politics, the
Right?
Midwestern politics. This is great.
The hierarchy.
Sorry. Yeah, the hierarchy. We know it's there, but you all are too nice to say anything.
Mm.
Lucky you have an asshole from New York to push
Right?
your buttons. Anyway, Kate, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your journey. How'd you get here? Who are you? Why do we find you interesting?
Yeah, so I am from a small town in Illinois called Bloomingdale. And
Put it on the map.
there we go. Please. Raised under my mom. I have two sisters. She is incredibly spicy. When anyone asks kind of like why I'm so spicy and why I'm headstrong and have all these causes, my mom is an engineer. She works under mostly men with men, and she entered into a golf tournament. The place where they were playing golf, the club, didn't allow women still in the 2000s. So she called the Chicago Tribune and had an article written about her, and it had a full page spread of like
Get him.
her, like
Yes.
literally, like at the camera, like shaking her club. And it was like she put it in a frame and it was in the house. So if that is where my like kind of fuck the system, like bring down the man, like that's where it started.
I found it interesting initially that you said you were raised under your mom, as if she
Yeah,
is a regime unto herself.
she is a regime unto herself. And I mean that in the best way possible, but she is a regime unto herself. It
That's
is,
so good.
yes, it's she would just drop these things like, "Just because someone's in charge doesn't mean they know the best and doesn't mean you have to respect them." And I'm like, "I'm
Mm.
7." Oh, yeah, Frances May, this is, like, blowing your mind.
Yes.
She
Asian moms could not, I
I
don't think.
know.
No, but she was born for the revolution, this one. She was, like,
She
bred
was.
for it.
She was. Which is so funny. She's first generation American. My grandparents are like from Germany. And so I'm pretty sure they preach the same thing of like, just sit in, just be nice. But Tony went on her own way, taught me the same pretty much from an early on. I think like most of us, I was like, well, I like maths and science and I like people. So I'll be a doctor. Watch Grey's Anatomy. I was like, "Yeah, I could do that. That looks fun. It looks cool." Had some teachers that were saying the same thing. I was 16 years old when I joined my first pre-med club, which I was like, I was a
Ooh,
child, I was
fancy.
a baby. Went to Texas A&M for undergrad, pre-med, and applied to med school the first time when I was, I guess, a junior at the end of my junior year, and I didn't get in. And I
Mhm.
said that was like the color being drained out of my world. It was shattering. It was earth shattering. Going back and like rereading everything, it's so cringy. It's so naive, so rose colored glasses of
What do you mean reading everything? Like
reading
like
my application
your
again.
journals and stuff? Your applications?
Application. It was like, I just want to change the world and heal the human race and, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, it was not good.
You
It was
didn't you
cringy.
didn't
It was
know they're
very
looking on the application for a healthy dose of early cynicism.
early. Yeah. Which I was happy to provide if I had
Yeah,
known
like,
that
you had
was,
that ready to go.
So I was like, you know what? Fuck medicine. I never actually wanted to be a doctor. I actually wanted to be a professional rock climber. Had gotten into rock climbing in college. Natural
Yeah,
segue.
easy.
So I moved to California and started rock climbing and surfing and climbing in Yosemite, climbing in all of America's like greatest mountains and places. And I was sitting there and at the climbing gym with my friends and, these California surfer hippies. And I look at them and I go, do you ever feel like there's more to life than just enjoying yourself and having beers and joints and just living for yourself? And they unanimously said no. That's a good life. That's all they wanted. And
We call
I mean,
them in my house, we call them long hairs.
long hairs.
Those of the rock climbing life. My wife knows many of them, and she, like,
Yes.
has, like, dated some of them in previous lives. The long hairs are a very special breed, but can be
Very.
very myopic in their worldview of just
100%.
general good times and relaxation.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, anyone who pursues a sport that your fingertips are getting eroded off your hands and you're like super gluing your fingers just to climb more, that's a weird
Seems
community.
unnecessary. That's so necessary.
Yeah.
How's your grip strength? I'm not good with the grip strength.
When I was seeing a physical therapist, I was like, "Can I, like, measure my grip strength?" He's like, "Your grip strength is so good, you're actually, like, on the highest end for males. Like, we don't even measure you in females anymore. You had to be on the men's scale, and you're, like, in the 90-something percentile."
So we could hang you like a coat hanger, like from anything really, and you just
Yes.
stay there for a while.
Just stay there. Yeah,
Not with the
my
nails, though. You have, like,
I
these fabulous
But
nails
she
know.
I'm
could
seeing right now, so
I
without the
know.
nails.
Without the
without the well,
sans
she can't.
nails.
There's nothing to climb in Phoenix. She out here like, let me climb something, and if I can't, I guess I'll put some nails on.
There is climbing in Phoenix. Yes, there is
Oh, okay.
climbing. America's climbers will climb anything. There's everything in every single state, I think. Omaha, Nebraska. I think Kansas might be the only place there's like, and then now the Kansas climbers are going to come for me, that there's like not natural formations to climb. But I used to do door hang pull ups where you just crimp on top of the, like a door frame
See,
and
that's
do,
crazy. I think that's
yeah,
that's that's insanity. Like
You can do
it's,
a
I got
pull-up?
oh yeah,
she could probably do a pull-up with 2 fingers, bro. Like, are you kidding? Like, yeah, she could do this. Like,
yeah,
I can't hold on to a bar with 2 whole hands for, like, any real amount of time. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
got
think that
weak wrists. My wrists are
Tony and I
just
Tony
sloppy.
Tony and I just doing a dead hang contest would be, like, really something, like, and it might be close.
that's
Yeah,
It'd be
it
a
would
so
be a
race to
funny.
the
real dead
bottom.
hang. We would drop off of them like
Race to the
heavy
bottom.
dead bodies. Yeah, it's race to the bottom.
You
It's
just
terrible.
you don't know.
No,
Well,
I do know
you
that I can
you do
I
know.
know.
No,
You you know
I've spent a few years bouldering. Like, I had a little
bouldering.
bouldering side quest. Yeah, I'm afraid of
Yeah.
heights, so I never wanted to be, like, climbing. What
Huh?
what
They
does
just
bouldering
big
cap up
rocks.
when and you're
Yeah.
not harnessed in, Tony. So it's just like free climbing, very small heights.
Free soloing the staircase height rock.
I would say
Yeah, especially
generally, yeah, less than 20 feet. We'll say generally less than 20 feet.
That's a good height. That's a good height to be on.
Yeah.
Just if the worst happens, you're gonna have a bad day, but you'll have another day.
yeah,
I
and there's
mean,
a giant pad under you, too,
I'm
Tony.
with
Like,
that.
I like a controlled indoor, no splinter, no bug environment.
Mhm.
yeah.
Are you Kate, were you part of the free solo community?
Okay,
You ever mess with those folks?
I always say this because this is the most popular question when I say that I'm a climber. They're like, "Oh, did you see Alex
Oh,
Honnold? He climbed the building in Taipei, right? And he climbed El Cap. And do you do that?" I do that. I'm sorry, mom. I do that. She knows this. I don't make a habit out of it, and generally, I don't condone it. I do really, really easy stuff without ropes, like it's like a 5'4", which essentially is like a glorified ladder. But yeah,
but
I have been,
in nature, an
mhm.
uncontrolled ladder in nature made of rocks.
Yeah, it sounds funny, but it's like you choose not to fall. You don't fall. You don't fall.
Yo, okay, how high are you up? By your fingertips, how high up?
I think 2 or 300 feet.
Okay, I had enough of this shit. I can't handle this. You stress me out because I saw that documentary
I
about that
know.
dude, and I was like watching him talk, and I was like, oh, no, he's not a normal person. Like
No.
the normal things in his brain don't fire the way they're supposed to. Wasn't that like part of the story? Like he doesn't
Yes.
experience fear or anxiety in the ways that humans do, and so he can like do this nutty stuff. But
Yes.
you seem
Yeah, you
and I
also
don't know
have that.
you, but like
Yeah, yeah.
you seem like, you fear some things, but you're just like, oh, I'm not gonna fall.
It's
That's just 300 feet. I'm just gonna hold on. No problem. This is
yeah,
insane. And this is
My
yeah.
this is
hands
built
go numb.
we're building a character right now, which I love. I love
No,
building a personality,
and I'm
Yeah.
like
so glad
before my
Tony
eyes.
too. Call
Holy
her
shit.
out.
Call her out.
Call her
That shit
out
is
because Kate,
it's unacceptable.
you sound like the free solo guy. I saw the
I
interviews he did
know.
about Taipei. He was
She
like,
is a free solo
no,
guy.
he
That's what
literally
she's
was like,
doing.
this is just a really easy building. He was like, you guys look at it and you see a building. This is like much
I
easier than the
bet you
hard
that's how
stuff I
Kate
do.
sees it. I bet Kate looked at
Yes,
That's
that building,
exactly
she
what
was
you
like,
sound
yes.
like right
that's an easy building."
That's what I said. I said it's probably an easy building. It's probably an
No!
easy
My God.
building. I mean, if
Okay,
you know you're
okay.
not gonna fall.
D
I mean, but we do
if
ex
as long as you decide you're not gonna fall. You know, maybe that's been my problem all these years. I have to
you haven't
decide
decided.
I'm not gonna crash my car. I have to decide, I'm not gonna, like, just, like, bust my ass walking out of the house, and, like,
Yes.
things will probably be okay. I think that's
Have
honestly
you tried
it's
it?
kind of a magical way to live, but then when you do fall down, like, what happens? You're just like, "Nah, that
Uh,
wasn't even me that fell." Like, I don't even recognize that person, like, "I'll be back."
we say
In the
it's
next
a
life.
we say it's a high gravity day. The gravity is a little too high today. It's like
Yo, put that
between
shit on a t-shirt.
the pressure, or I'm sure it's on a t-shirt. If there's something rock climbers love, they love a good fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
High gravity
A
day,
high gravity day, I've never heard that before, and I'm in love with it. I
right?
need that one. Um, uh, okay, so you're an insane person rock climber.
Yes.
So let's, like, speed us through the rest of the journey.
Yeah.
Tell us how you got to today.
So I wanted to keep rock climbing in my life. I'm also a skier snowboarder, so wanted to do this
That tracks,
while
yeah.
working towards medicine. So I went to Salt Lake for 4 years to do gut microbiome, colon cancer research, published there. But I was like, PhD is not right. I feel like I have to give it to the people. I'm a lady, I'm a woman of the people, so I need to be in front of people. So applied again to medical school, got in Boise, Idaho to a DO school up there. I had a whole fucking identity crisis when I was like, am I a DO or an MD? Loved medical school, thought that was a blast. I was drinking the fucking surgeon Kool-Aid. Surgery was life. I started sneaking into operating rooms my first semester, first year. I mean, Frances Mei is like, I feel people are shy.
They didn't even know you were there because you were just hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. No, people are shy
It was
about
just like
admitting,
Spider-Man, just like, "Hi,
right?
no big deal."
I was a gunner. I was a nice gunner, but I was an unabashed surgery gunner. They're like, "What's your backup?" My backup is probably death. I don't know. It's
Wow.
surgery or nothing. Surgery or death. So
Love it.
that's how I pursued my dreams.
Love and identity wrapped
Wait,
up
first of all,
in this volatile, profession, yes.
are you saying that I'm shy about it?
I feel like you're like, I wasn't like a mean gunner, or my friends are always like, I wasn't mean. No, I wouldn't say I'm a gunner. Like, I embrace the gunner, everything, all the connotations. I didn't try to make other people feel like shit. I'm sure I made people feel like shit. I'm just taking it on. Do you embrace it?
But I think that PR is like a very real, perception in PR.
Sure.
Like I think that the packaging, our presentation is very different. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, if you are a gunner with a smile,
Uh-huh.
because you smile a lot,
Yeah.
then that is kind of like a sunshiny brand of gunnerism to where maybe you can lean into that. I smile 0 to 3 times per academic year. And I tower over people and I menace them and I just scare them. And that's when I'm not trying to be a gunner. So when I was a gunner
Ah,
was probably legitimately, objectively kind of a nightmare. So no, I'm not proud of, times in my life where I terrorized people. And so I think that that's the difference though, because like your specific brand of being a gunner, I
yeah.
think sounds like a lot more sunshiny and palatable. Tony, you can weigh in here. If you had to go to medical school with the two of us and I was a gunner and Kate was a gunner, I assume you would still like Kate much more. And I
Well,
would
here's
be
the
perceived as
issue. Here's the issue. I don't do well with menacing, and if you knew you were menacing, then, you're probably terrifying to the normal human walking around, just like this giant who is just like just terrifying. And then you have
That's
Kate,
funny.
who is just smiling in my face, but I see the insanity behind her eyes. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at her fingers. She's like smiling, but like she has no fingernails. And I'm just like, okay, this is, I got, I need some new friends here.
Right?
So yeah, my choice is neither because you
Neither.
guys sound like a lot. You sound like a lot, both of you.
There's a trick I used to do where you can crack an apple with your hands, and I just, sit in class and just fucking just break apples, just rip apples in
Okay, that's an amazing gunner move. That's my favorite thing any
half.
gunner has ever done in medical school. And if I'd known that that was an option, I would have done that back in the
Just
Stop
day.
it.
out of
Stop
pure
it.
rage, just rip
Guys,
it
all
apart.
right. Clearly, Kate's going to be a guest on this show multiple times over because we're just going to
Yes,
explore the depths of just what her hands do for fun.
And how
Because
to intimidate people
and
in
how to
new
intimidate
ways.
people. Like, I'm sure
yeah,
this was like a fun thing you and rock climbers do when you're just hanging out. Oh, I can just crack.
100%.
Oh, you want some apple? Rah,
Rip an
just no
apple,
big deal. But
rip
you
it in
just doing
half.
this in the hallowed halls of medicine, just
Yes,
and then just like licking your fingers and watching the lecture while people around you are just like shitting their pants. Because they're just nerds that have never left their house. And you got this,
100%.
and then you like offer them apple, and it's the biggest power move of all time.
Yeah,
Right?
amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
All right,
afraid.
Kate. Okay,
Clinical
Kate.
insanity.
Yeah, so clinical insanity, Kate. You're
Oh, I
loving
love
being an
that.
insane all smiles
I
surgery
love
gunner.
that. Yes.
Yeah, this is this is great. Maybe this whole episode would just be like hearing who the fuck Kate is, where like where she
Right?
came from,
No,
because
it
this
should
is
be 2
incredible.
parts. Cause seriously, then
Yeah,
it'll be a full intro, and then part
this
2
is
would
a
be like,
nice full intro. I love this.
Right?
All
This
right,
is
just
the
keep
villain
going, keep
origin
going, because
story.
we keep learning crazy awesome things.
I will now sprinkle all my funny hand stories in here because it really has been like, yeah, I know I can do it, so I do funny stuff. And in that vein, I was applying ortho. I was the ortho bro. Those were my people. Did you know that, Frances May?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that, but now that you just told me you can crack an apple open with your hands, I'm like, yeah, ortho
Yes.
bro makes perfect sense.
Those were my
Mm,
people, had a blast. They like really encouraged the goofballness of like ripping apples in half and did tons of ortho research, went to all the ortho meetings, heart, and you guys know how the ortho gunners are too. It's like, it really is ortho or death. So, really was drinking the Kool-Aid, started the ortho club. I was the president, like, was getting the scholarships, did tons of rotations, audition rotations, got a bunch of love, and didn't match. Uh,
fuck, dude.
yeah, and it was for a
Yeah.
DO female. I mean, it was shocking. The numbers were shockingly low. And thank God since then it really has started to creep up, but it's still, when I applied, it was like 90 something percent male, very broadly
Mm,
MDs. Um, And so that was just like the wind. That was probably the worst day of my life is the day that I didn't match. And because I couldn't imagine a world in which like I wasn't part of it. That was my community. Those were
yeah.
my people. That was my identity. I had so much fun with them. I don't take things too seriously. They felt like a community that didn't take things too seriously unless they really had to like put their head down. Um, and we can get into the whole not matching. So shifted, shifted gears. I said, I still want to operate, obviously. So I'm going to go into the soap as gen surge. Didn't soap, went into the scramble, eventually found my prelim position in Texas in May, right before I graduated. I think like 2 days before I graduated. Went to Texas for a year, very trauma heavy, decided to go back into the match. Well, had to, but didn't stay, went into a categorical position further out west. And that did not work out the way I planned.
You What I think is really brutal for me to hear about this is like, I've shared I also did not match when I applied in ENT, then I soaped.
Mhm.
But when Kate says that it was the worst day of her life, and the reasons why it was. Like, Kate is exactly who we want in those seats, that clearly there is such a
Mm,
thing as a calling and a really
mm,
well-aligned fit with your career, and, like, somebody who it is brutal to hear that, because even if I, am being honest with myself, was it the worst day of my life? It was very bad. I've lost several immediate family members, so it doesn't probably even crack my top 10, but all the pain, when I look back, it was an extraordinarily painful day and week, right?
mm,
And it was because of the fact that I felt like I had failed, and also the fact that I felt a lot of shame around it. Like, I know that that's why I had all that pain. I wasn't like, I'm missing out on the work that is extraordinarily meaningful to me and in a community that I really wanted to be a part of for reasons that I can defend. Kate, I appreciate what you shared. I think that that makes me so upset for you, because,
yeah,
like, they really messed up with you. I'm not even gonna say that they messed up with me. Maybe they
yeah,
detected within me something that I didn't know, which is that I didn't even want this job. Not the
yeah.
case whatsoever for you.
No, lived, breathed, ate it. I mean, I would, go to the hospital and I would make a connection. I would have attendings. I have a network of attendings working for me. This is now they're under my regime. I'm no longer my mom's regime. Everybody's under my regime. That I have one attending introduce me to another attending, introduce me to a surgeon, to another surgeon. And now I have a network and I'm getting everybody's phone number and I'm sitting in front of the board, and there was like always 5 ortho rooms. I was there constantly, constantly, nights, weekends, breaks, everything. I was obsessed, obsessed, and I loved it. And they said, we don't have residents here, so we're going to treat you like a resident. We're going to give you this. And so I like hit the ground fucking running with auditions. And it was everything. Those days in the operating room, it was beautiful. I mean, that is what I felt like I was put on this earth to do. And so it was everything. It was like a guillotine coming down, that I was being cut off from the community, my friends, my identity, my patients. And I know you can always reapply. I think ortho is another one of those that's pretty notorious for that doesn't really like reapplicants unless you're like doing the ortho research year or you're, doing something like this. So I kind of knew in my heart that that was over. And in that sentiment, I reapplied to ortho after my prelim year and I did not get a single interview. So yeah, that
Here's my question for you, which I think may be helpful to folks to hear, because I don't think you're unique in the
mm,
degree to which your identity was wrapped up in your goal here. Like, that's
mhm,
what, you achieved what they want us to feel as far as the calling
mm,
status. You know what I
mhm,
mean? Like, that's what they tell us you're
yes.
supposed to feel. Did I ever feel that? Maybe I convinced myself I did, but I don't think I ever quite got to the flow state of I'm breathing ortho, like the way you
Mhm,
were.
yeah,
So,
Ditto.
you get to that point, you don't match, and from then on, like, life is different, right?
yeah,
Like, for you, and the way that
yeah.
you see yourself, what you can do, what you can contribute, what you're meant to do.
Mhm.
How did you navigate that, just from a personal and, like, emotional standpoint? Because I think that hearing a perspective on that is really important for folks.
So, one of the only reasons that I felt I survived that season was because of my peer group. I In the West, as a DO, there was a lot of us that were kind of making the rounds with auditions the same places. So there was a guy I was with for 3 months from a different school, didn't know each other before, and we just happened to be at the same place at the same time for 3 months. And, I see people, they're in the top 10th percentile in the med school class. They are, in the 80th percentile for the boards. They're doing all these things. They're great people. They're hard workers. No red flags. Out of our whole group, to my knowledge, there was no red flags. And saying this person is amazing. They're amazing. They have a gift. This is what they need to be doing, and see them go down, that I knew that I, like, couldn't really take that on. And I think that's part of the problem with match and even getting into medical school. I had to apply 2 times. There was no red flags. I looked like a great candidate on paper. There's just so many fantastic people out there, and I feel like it gets better and better and more intense every single year. And then knowing that I could find something that I could still, a medium I could still work my gift out on and patience still to serve, because ultimately that is what it is about, and I'm a people person in that way, that I wanna be there in the hard times, and, that's the guacamole, and surgery was just the chip to deliver.
I think that's the message. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so hard, especially when because we're all like most of us are relatively young when that happens, when it's match
Mhm.
time, when we're in med school. And so, you know, this is your first time where you're like your identity is like under fire kind of every day for
Yes.
several years, right?
Mhm.
It's just you're constantly under the pressure to decide who you're meant to be and constantly under the pressure to prove it
Mhm.
to people who may or may not give a shit, right? And so like
Right.
so you have to perform it as well as feel it. And that is really hard and it's really unfair. And I
Mhm.
think that, when you like, when you have your big failure, which I wouldn't even call not matching a failure, guys. Like that is odds are it's not something you did.
Right.
It's not something about who you are. It's a numbers game that's meant to exclude a pretty
Mm.
decent amount of people. And if you find yourself on the outside of that, then yeah, it's not a failure, but it's a moment for you to take a step back and just be like, okay, that hurts. Imma let it hurt because it has to. I can't repress that.
Mm.
I gotta feel this pain. If shame is what you feel the shame. If anger is what you feel the anger. You know what I mean? And then
Right.
you come back to, okay, but what do I want out of this life? What do I still want out of this life? What can I
Mm.
build for myself out of this life? Because you have to hold on to something for yourself that's not at the mercy of, all these, faceless, people who make these decisions
Right.
about who gets to do what and all that shit.
Right.
And once you can find something, what that is for you, and then you want to whatever else you want to jump into, whether it's something totally different, whether it's reapplying,
Mhm.
whether it's something super competitive or whatever, like you can go into that with kind of a more reinforced sense of self. Doesn't mean you
Mhm.
care less about what you're going through, but you know how to take care of you and what you hold dear a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. Totally agree.
And so no, you got me. I'm preaching right now. I'm feeling spiritual up in this.
Yes.
Maybe it's all the finger hanging talk, but
Yeah,
y'all
right?
got me. Y'all got me
Well,
feeling
yeah,
that
it's
right
just
now.
Kate being like, "What is death? What is, being 300 feet in the air, not secured
What
to
is? Yeah,
anything?" Like,
exactly.
yeah, it's got Toady
Yes.
feeling some kind of way.
Mhm.
What
I
I
am.
think, though, because I really agree with what both of you guys said, but the great paradox of medicine and for sure surgery. I'm willing to even just say this is the paradox of surgery. Kate had a very rich life. She was actually a high complexity person and even
Mm.
had many years as a professional rock climber, all these other things going on, right? A rich social support system, all these other things. But then, as you describe, when it came time for like really med school and getting into it and rotations in the match, you were eating, sleeping, drinking ortho.
Yes. Yes.
And surgery wants like, requires and asks and wants that of us. So you should be eating, sleeping, drinking this thing. But by definition, that means putting all your eggs in one basket with this thing. And so
Mhm.
then if you have a poor match outcome, it literally is devastating. And then people are like, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, why didn't you stay like a very multi hyphenate person and all this stuff? It's like the
Yes.
system, like
You told
really,
me. Yeah, you
yeah,
told me
you
that
told
is
me to do this. Like,
unacceptable.
what the
Yeah,
heck? I felt betrayed because of that.
I totally
yeah.
agree, and it's what is asked of you. They literally tell you, the ortho residents are like, "Dump that stuff. You need to memorize this entire book of different fracture grades and what plates to use, different screws, all this stuff." It's a second curriculum, and, so
That's
you're
what they told
putting.
you when you were a student.
Yes, MS3.
Give me a
They're giving me second books, and it's insane.
Right.
It's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, and so you're putting all your time into memorizing all of this stuff. I mean, they had us like, in a line, like little, like they were drill sergeants. We were
Ducklings.
like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. It's what is asked of you. And I see all these amazing ortho applicants and some of these subspecialties, and they don't match, and they come out and they're like lost in this world now. It's like, what are we doing to these people?
And not only that, but the last thing I'll say about it is that that does not magically resolve when you become an attending. Like, I know a lot of people who are 5
Mm,
years into attending life or more,
Yep.
right?
mm,
And then when they have their first huge professional setback at work, then they're like, this is literally identity and life threatening.
mm.
And it's like, yeah, because your job demanded 100% of you, and you didn't keep up the other parts of yourself, and you didn't get in touch with who you actually are outside of the career role.
Yeah.
Yep. I think the best thing and the most painful thing often, but the best thing that can happen to us, especially in this world, is one of these identity shaking reckonings, like having these moments, because the way you come out the other side, is what will make you who you are for the rest of your life. Can make you great, can make you see just how much more you're capable of and how much more secure in yourself you should have been the entire time. But yeah, so anyway, one more, super fun and optimistic med student based episode. But we got a few minutes left, so we're gonna wrap up with some fun, maybe, because Kate has a game she wants to play.
Whoop.
And so I don't know what this game is, but I'm here for it. So let's go, Kate. Show us
All
something.
right. All right. So my game is called Criminal or Minimal, and it is your job to
Ooh.
rate if something is criminal or minimal. I am not talking legally because some of these they're maybe not legal-ish. It's like, when you
This
roll
is
through a stop
vibes,
sign. It's vibes only,
Just
please,
is my
vibes only.
sensibilities. Yes. Okay.
not
Yes.
legal advice.
Not legal advice. Quick responses. I want kind of a like, what's the first thing that comes to
Yeah.
mind? What's your knee jerk response? I am not going to give you many stipulations. I'm not going to answer a lot of questions. Am I a resident? Am I a junior? Am I a med student? Am I an attending?
Yeah. Thanks for clarifying that. That's like how Frances May gets out of answering questions quickly.
I know, I know. There's very
That's
little
not true.
stipulations. This is for everybody. We're thinking deontology, right? If it's a rule for you, it's a rule for everybody. Uh,
Deontology.
Yes. Oh, we can talk
I
a
don't
little
even
bit
know
about
that word.
philosophy in
I
here.
know words. I don't know that one. That's a great one.
Yes. Okay, we'll start with some soft pitches here. Criminal or minimal, your block time is on Friday afternoon every single week.
Criminal.
Trash.
Criminal. Marking a non-surgent CT a stat because you forgot to put in the order.
Minimal?
Wait a second. Clarify that. I
Marking
don't understand
a
the question.
non-urgent CT a
Oh,
stat
non-urgent CT a stat because you
because you
forgot
forgot to
to
put
do
it
it
in the
earlier.
order.
That's minimal. They working
Y'all!
anyway down there. Aren't they working anyway?
Y'all! If
Yeah, they
everything is
are.
stat, nothing is stat.
But
What?
we already live in that world.
Yeah, we know regardless. All it takes to make something
Um,
stat is for me to go down to the room and be like, "Hey, can you check this out?"
Well, or for the attending to be like, I need to be out by a specific time. So make it
Mhm.
stat. Like, I want this answer within a 90-minute window. Like, I
That's
don't,
minimal.
yeah,
We'll abuse the system.
minimal.
Keep going. Yeah.
Keep
Y'all,
going.
medicine, right?
Kate's like, you were on trial this whole time. It
You're
was a
on
test.
trial. This was a trap. Y'all, medicine residents actually like mark their different ones. I didn't know people like changed the urgency. They will put routine on things. I was
They
like, yeah,
just trying to stay alive out here. They got deadlines to meet too. You do whatever you got to do to
not this
survive.
week.
I
Not
understand.
this week with the routine CT. Okay.
All right,
uh
keep going.
ChatGPT you are giving you a summary of your journal club articles.
Minimal.
I think that's minimal. I think
Yeah,
it's
at first I
minimal.
thought you were going to say
What?
something like patient care related, and I was preparing to say criminal. But like,
You haven't read them at
journal
all,
club.
but in a pinch, you
Minimal.
needed to give you okay.
There's one thing I know those things are relatively reliable on, and if you give them the information, it is good at summarizing. So I
It
would
is
I
good
would
at
take that.
summarizing.
And
Yeah.
Journal Club's not that serious. I don't respect Journal
Yeah.
Club. So
Okay.
Wow.
Woo! That hurt. That hurt me right in the research, but that's okay. We
She's still
press
Sorry.
on.
she's still a gunner at heart.
I
And
know.
maybe this was
I see that.
maybe like Frances Mei was
Oh,
just this sort of arrogant gunner, but Kate was doing the work.
I'm doing it. I'm adding extra ones. I was like, I thought
You
y'all might find this interesting too.
Oh my
oh
gosh.
shit.
No one's paying attention. It's okay.
No,
It's
we're
okay.
getting graded. We're getting
How
graded
about
on this, yeah.
asking ChatGPT to give you commentary to say during journal club so it looks like you actually read the articles?
Even better. Even
Minimal.
more minimal.
Yeah.
Listen, we're just
I feel
we're
like, yeah,
here.
Kate's like, I don't
Yeah.
want to work with you guys anymore. This was a
No,
reverse interview.
I'm like,
we talking about
I,
journal club. We talking about journal club? Like, there's no
Multiple questions about
consequences
Journal
to
Club.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I've never answered
y'all,
this many questions about journal club.
I didn't know anybody thought about Journal Club. I'm so
Nobody.
sorry.
What is this journal club? Yeah, give me some jokes, some
guys,
article related jokes to crack
Yeah.
during journal club.
joke.
Everyone's gonna have a better time.
I tried in journal club, one, to get journal club to be more often. I asked for it to be like every 2 weeks. I also asked if I could elect myself into some sort of presidency for journal club, some sort of
Okay. All right.
leadership
What we're
position.
learning now is that your current employment status is under review.
I
Kate,
know.
these next few questions better be good
No, we're
because you're
gonna
outing
change her
yourself as
job.
a
We're gonna
problematic
change her job
human.
title here, and it'll just be what's your role at the HC? President of Journal Club.
President of journal club.
That's like the best.
And
Inaugural.
all it's gonna be,
Inaugural presidents.
all it's gonna be is you like it's gonna be a single page on the website with you like, anybody want to be in journal club? Anybody want to be in journal club? And it's
It's
just
for
like
free.
look at
It's
all
for
the
fun.
look at all the fun we're having reading like on our own and not getting any help and getting no additional points
Y'all,
and
this
not even
is
taking y'all out to dinner.
still next to
Get
the
that out of
computer.
here. What are you doing?
I,
Gross. Oh
Straight.
wow, Frances Mei.
Those go
What
straight.
is
I get
this?
those. I still get those in the mail, and they
She
go
got-
like
She
straight
got 'em- I
into.
think they're a little too close to your home workspace.
Yeah,
Next
You
to the
gotta
that's what I
like
computer.
mean. Like
put it
they're
at put it
decorative
to
in
the
my
side.
house.
All right, let's do
I
let's do
know.
a couple more. Let's do a couple
All
more because
right.
this is getting bleak for you, Kate.
Okay. We'll highlight some of these. Okay. Farting in the operating room, criminal or minimal?
Minimal.
Who farting? Who? Me or others? Because
Someone
we know
farts
it's
in the
gotta happen.
operating room.
It's
Someone
gotta
farts in the
happen.
operating room.
I think honestly, I think it's gotta be minimal because everyone's gotta do it. Everyone's got their style of like being silent but deadly. And depending on what you're operating on, you blame it on the dog. You know what I mean? Like whatever's open on the table.
That's a good point. Okay. How about farting in a comatose patient's room?
There's a lot of farting going on, but
Are
yeah,
these
Frances
only
Mei,
journal club and farting questions?
we're learning a lot. We're learning too much,
people
but
wanna
Minimal.
know.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think normalized like bodily functions. I don't think that I don't
normalize
think
it
it's
coming out
disrespectful.
of whatever holes it's got to come out of, man. And you know what? This one's comatose. You know the comatose body making some stuff happen if they're
Okay,
still
that's a good
alive.
point. That's a
You
good
know, you're
point.
sharing a moment, and why are we in there
Yeah,
long enough
like,
to have this
well,
thought?
but I'm also saying
What
like
am
the
I
rules
doing
aren't
with this
different.
person?
Like stuff
Yeah,
that you can do in any patient's room, like the patient being in a coma, like doesn't really. I'm just saying,
it
like
got to be a coma. Why am
you
I?
have
Why am
to.
I hanging out long enough with comatose patients to be like, man, is it time to rip it? Is it time to?
Time.
Are
Okay.
you gonna mind?
These questions are so strange, Kate. Like
Oh, this is-
I'm
All right, give us okay
perturbed.
before we stop. Give us the last one. Give us one more that we'll see how demented it is, but like you're most interested and proud of. I need to know.
Back to journal club.
I know. I have a
Now,
whole sort of
guys,
subsection of journal club ones, but those are those are out now. All right. I think Frances May is going to understand this one. In the operating room, telling a cardiac surgeon that he is rude when the patient is on the table.
in what's your role? What's our
She
rule?
said no questions. She said no
Just
follow-up
just
questions
telling 'em.
permitted.
So would it just be us?
He's rude.
ENT surgeon
Minimal.
standing toe to toe?
Tony,
Yeah, I
you
mean-
literally earlier, you were like, Frances Mei can't follow the rules. She'll ask follow-up questions. Not one.
I just want to give you the best answer,
Okay.
but okay, fine.
Minimal.
No questions. You think minimal?
Minimal.
Okay. I think minimal. Fuck their feelings.
How about if it was a junior resident?
It's
Junior
tough because the
resident?
criminal or minimal game is hard because I really
know.
I don't think it's criminal. I think that
Right.
it is going to lead to a bad outcome for that junior resident. Like, best wishes. May God have mercy on the soul of this junior resident. But it's hard for me to label it criminal.
They need they're very black and white thinkers, Frances May. So I think if they're looking to gain
Yes.
insight here, we just gotta say criminal.
Yeah, all right.
For the kids, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we don't want y'all to go down that
Yeah.
road, even though I say minimal because I have nothing to lose.
Cosmically, in the multiverse, it is
Yeah.
still probably minimal, but I agree with Tony. If there's takeaway advice, criminal, we don't advise just if I said what I
Running your
actually
mouth.
thought any day at the hospital, I would have been let go from my residency.
Amazing.
Per-
Well,
Perfect segue.
I think that's perfect segue. Let's wrap up there, guys. What an episode we have had. We
So good.
traversed land that I never thought we would cross on this podcast, but I'm so thrilled. Kate, thank you once again for being with us.
Thanks,
It's been
guys.
such a pleasure. And yeah, with that, another successful and legendary episode of Social Rounds. So, Frances Mei, please take us out.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and leave us a review. Check out our other shows and content at hippocratic-collective.com. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.